Hi, and welcome once again to our series on Canine Lullabies, music that can be used to calm your dog. And I'm here once again with Mr. Terry Woodford, and he is the therapeutic music expert, and he is sharing with us all kinds of incredible information on how these canine lullabies work to calm an anxious or barking or upset dog. So Terry, let's continue on with what you were saying, and why don't you just share a little bit more about this whole answering the question, why does this music work?
Well, again, the basic principles of relaxation and learning were incorporated in the arrangements of these simple traditional lullabies that also use the human heart as the rhythm. And then the singers who sing with compassion in their voice of these lyrics that don't really mean a whole lot to humans or dogs, unless you happen to be the song "Row, row, row your boat," you think that life is but a dream and we're going merrily, merrily down the stream.
Right.
But otherwise the lyrics are kind of nonsensical, don't mean a whole lot unless you know the origin of the songs.
Sure.
So those basic principles are simplicity, repetition, predictability, consistent tempo, simple structure, non-dynamic, that compassion in the singer's voice, and the human heartbeat that sets the tempo for the songs.
Okay, compassion in the human voices. Really? Dogs can decipher that kind of thing when they listen? Huh?
Well, I know you have a dog. Mm-hmm. And I know that when that dog comes up and nudges you for a little bit of attention, you talk to that dog just like it was a child.
Yes.
And your voice gets a little bit higher.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the poor little baby's hungry, or he's hurt, or he's whatever. And they recognize that compassion in the human voice. They also recognize the sounds in the human voice when you're not too pleased with what they've done. Mm-hmm. You don't say, don't rip up my couch, or don't do this, or don't do that, and a real please don't do this, So yeah. they relate more, I think, to the emotion in your voice than they even do the language that you use. Not to say they can't recognize words, and
sure.
If they have a little squeaky rabbit, you can say, go get the rabbit, and they'll go get the rabbit and squeak it. But you don't use that compassion or for things that you're not pleased with. And so a lot of times, even when you're being very compassionate, you also give them a treat. And so they relate that compassion in your voice with the treat. And so these singers, they recognize the compassion in their voice. The lyrics don't mean anything. And maybe they don't know who that person is. It's kind of like a baby. A nurse that maybe in the hospital, they just this compassion, and they talk in that real high voice. And that baby recognizes the compassion even though it's not mama. It might be grandma or grandpa. And of course, grandpa's voice is going to go up an octave too. But it's soft, tender,
soothing.
Yeah, not dynamic, and they relate to that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Wow. Okay, thanks. We'd like to encourage you now to try this for yourself. Why don't you go to yourcaninelullabies.com and download a free song that's available for you today, where you can try it out for yourself and have a calmer, happier dog as a result.